What's up everybody, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Stephanie Renee, and today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make the easiest slash most delicious salsa right here from scratch. It is my famous salsa and I love to bring it to parties, and I never ever use canned salsa anymore. It's just not the same once you have fresh salsa, right? So this is a great way to liven up your food, get some fresh vegetables in yourself without noticing it, and it's so good, it's the best snack. So I'm gonna be making it with my Vitamix blender here. You could use any blender to make it. You can also just chop it all up, but this just makes it so much faster. So I'm gonna start off by chopping up my vegetables. So I have all of my vegetables here pre-washed. We have cilantro, onion, garlic, and then serrano peppers. Now you use as many serrano peppers depending on how spicy you want. A little secret is that serrano is a more consistent heat than jalapenos. Some jalapenos can be not that hot, some can be like dire, terrible, horrible hot. So if you are afraid of getting those really hot ones or the ones that don't have any spice to it, serrano peppers are actually really consistent and always keep a nice spice to it. Another great thing is that you can get like this many, and I probably spent like 20 cents on it. They're really cheap because of course they're by the pound at the grocery store and they're pretty small. I have lime because I love that fresh lime juice taste in my salsa. So this is to taste, up to you, leave out anything you don't want. I have some garden tomatoes there, and then I said cilantro, onion, salt and pepper, and then I also always put in a little bit of the canned tomatoes. It really just evens it all out and gives a nice stewed tomato in combination with the fresh tomatoes. So it's a part of the secret. So let's get right into it. I'm gonna start off by cutting the onion here. And a trick I've learned is you can just cut it right in its shell and then peel it back afterwards. All right, and one of the major benefits of using a blender is you don't have to chop it down to how you normally would. You can leave it just slightly chopped and then throw it right in your blender. All right, so we got the onions and the blender so far, and basically how it works is you're just gonna throw all of these ingredients in there, and then you're gonna chop it at a very low speed, something that's not gonna puree the whole mix, because we do want it a little bit chunky, right? That's the way I like it. I guess if you like yours a little bit more saucy, then blend it a little longer. So I don't like my salsa to be super, super hot, so I'm gonna only do 2 of the serrano peppers, but if you want yours extremely hot, add a 3rd one. Okay, next up I'm gonna do my tomatoes, and I don't wanna make like a ton, so I'm gonna do 3 fresh tomatoes and then the canned tomatoes. It's all about ratio. And I'm just cutting these tomatoes in 4s just to make it easier on my blender. All right. Next, let's get into the garlic. Now, garlic makes everything extremely tasty. At least that's my opinion. So I like a lot of garlic. So I'll do like 5 or 6 cloves, but that's up to you. You can put more or less as you like into your salsa. I think the garlic adds something really delicious and special. So I'm gonna put a little bit more than less, and then you do what you feel comfortable at home, but again, I'm probably gonna do about 5 to 6 pieces, and you'll put the garlic in completely whole, no need to chop it up at all. All right, so I went ahead and peeled those garlic cloves. I got a little crazy with the garlic because some of them were smaller than others. So, you know, just follow your heart with the garlic. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 garlic cloves there. I'm gonna throw those all in whole. And then next up, let's grab the cilantro. So I did wash some cilantro here, and I'm just gonna throw like a nice handful of it in there. If you are a cilantro psycho like me, I took a big bunch from the bundle here, and I'm gonna throw it in because I love the taste of cilantro, but if this is not your bag, use a little bit less. All right, so I just put the cilantro inside of our blender here, and then let's see, what do we have next? We can go for the salt and pepper. Now again, I have Himalayan salt because health benefits, and you may have noticed that look how fresh our blender looks here. It has so many good ingredients in there. This is literally all vegetables that you are gonna be eating, and you're gonna have no idea that you're eating this healthy because it tastes so good. It's just the best way to sneak vegetables in your meal. So I'll use about a teaspoon of Himalayan salt, and I just eyeball it. And then I'll do the same with the pepper. This is just black pepper. All right, so I have that in there. And then next I'm gonna go for the lime squeeze. And to get a lot of lime juice out of your lime, you wanna kind of pre-squeeze it a little bit. All right, and then I'm just gonna squeeze it. So I'm just gonna take them and squeeze them right into the salsa. Okay, so if you have a dry lime, a good backup plan is to just use your 100% lime juice. So I'm actually gonna cheat and squeeze a little bit of this right in. All right. Okay, so next we do have the canned tomatoes. And this is just the way that I have seen other people make it. I will say it does have a nice texture to the salsa. And of course, if you cook a lot, you know, the stewed tomatoes, I mean, there's really no place they don't go, honestly. I just keep a bunch on deck in my house because they are just like a staple when you're cooking. Okay, so I'm gonna drain the juice out because honestly, all these vegetables will end up making their own juice, but I'm not gonna drain all of it, just like about 50% of the liquid in here. All right, so let's start off by pulsing it. Now it's really important not to turn it into a complete smoothie unless you like that more soupier texture. I like it to be a little bit chunky, so make sure you pulse however you do that on your blender, and just blending it enough to get it nice and chunky and everything chopped up, right? Because that's what makes it easier. So I'm gonna start off by hitting the pulse function here. And then I think I'm gonna turn up the setting a little bit. Almost perfect. All right, this is looking really good. This consistency is exactly what you want it to be. You want it to still have some chunks and lumps in there, so that way when you're dipping your chip in, you know, you have something that kind of sits up on the chip. That is my sign of it went well. But really, you could liquefy it, you could not. You can chop it up by hand if you like a really, really chunky option. But this is just a great, quick way to enjoy your salsa. This is what it should look like. There we go. Okay, so that was my quick way to make your at-home salsa, a nice big batch of it so you can enjoy it with your nachos, your tacos. Put it in your cheesy eggs with salsa. I mean, you can really make so much. This could be the base that goes inside of a soup to make it a little spicier, maybe a tortilla soup. So many options that you can do when you make fresh salsa, and the taste is amazing. Okay, so I have my bag of tortilla chips, and the way I test to see if my salsa is good is if it sits up nicely on the chip, and of course how it tastes. And this is exactly what it should look like. Wow. This is the perfect texture in my opinion. I love that the salsa is really sitting up on the chip. I can see I have a little bit of cilantro, tomato, serrano pepper, a little bit of everything in each bite. All right, well, thank you guys so much for joining me making this batch of homemade salsa, which I'm going to thoroughly enjoy. Go ahead and like and subscribe and click the notification bell so that you know when I upload, so you have all the new recipes and things. So thank you guys so much, and goodbye for now.